What's poppin', y'all? Ye recently just had a meeting with some guy that's supposed to help him shake up the industry, and it's a bit of an expose. He wants to expose everything, and we're going to get into it in a little bit. Also, you guys are going to be hearing a lot from me this next couple of weeks. Thank God, all praise to the Almighty, I am not sick anymore. I felt like incapacitated, having so much to say and being restricted from saying it. Just be thankful for your health, because this is probably how some people feel that can't walk, can't run, or just can't do anything that they would really love to do. So getting back into the topic, when you look at this clip that Sneeko posted, it was a meeting that they had with somebody who I assume, if we make the assumption that he knows what he's doing with this stuff, otherwise he wouldn't even be there. I'm going to play you guys that clip, and then we're going to get into a little bit of analysis why I think EA's tripping and this isn't going to work, and we'll get into more details.
Bully is coming out. The Bully album is coming out on June 15th. Yeah.
Have you done any BBC stuff, vinyls, fan packs, bundles, CDs, any of that? Not yet?
We sold vinyl though. We just haven't made the vinyl yet.
Okay, so you put it out on your website and you started a song.
Yeah, but that's like 30,000 units or something like that.
First thing, the easiest thing for us, we gotta start buying. So when we do the pre-order, you see go there. 2-3 years ago, right? Did you see anybody?
So if we could just buy them, and so is Morgan buying his stuff?
This results, right? 2-3 years ago, did you see everyone start selling the scene on the CDs and vinyls out of nowhere?
Yeah. But how do I beat the game?
This is how it's the CD.
But you don't beat the game by buying it.
You beat the game by the closet factor.
I think what I should do is do the opposite. That you brought this idea, and I'm like, let's do the opposite idea. What I want to do is just put my shit up and be like, okay, Yay sells 6,000 copies, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't want to sell shit. I want to do what Morgan Wallen has. I do. It's like you say, perception is reality. If I want to buy into that, like who all wants to buy into that? Because once I start shifting stuff, start shifting. Right now, all musicians are being taken advantage of, and no one can do anything about it. And no musician likes the situation. Everyone knows that it's rigged. Everyone knows that it's unfair. And people are too afraid to put their music out without paying for the sales, because they're too afraid of being embarrassed in front of their fans and their peers and their family and the world. So it's like we're being bullied. It's like embarrassment culture. So I think the idea of bully, to become a new bully, to be the school shooter to the bullies, is so what is that? Because you came here, it's not just going to be like, yay, just.
So in this, he talks about he wants to make sure Bully does a bunch of sales. Keep in mind, I think he's gonna clean it up a little bit. He did say he was off the anti-Semitic stuff. We got to change up the words a little bit. Some people are like, why can't you say the real thing? Hey, listen, man, I'm on somebody else's grounds. I'm walking with my hands up and my head up. I'm not touching my pockets. I'm on somebody else's property. What do you want me to do? You want me to reach in for my pocket so I could get laid out in the middle of the ground and you'd be like, damn, that was a good one, and head off to the next? Nah, I'm here to stay. So with this, the problem that he's trying to do is, number one, 6ix9ine already did this. 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj did this. Everyone's going back and talking about Travis Scott and the 2018 era, which, remember, I talked about that back then. I don't know if I still have the video up on my main channel, but I was breaking all of that down years. I can't believe it's like 7 years ago now. Wow, time flies. Feels like I've only been doing this for like 2 years. That's how much I love this. Anyway, when 6ix9ine got out of prison, he was blackballed by everybody. He was signed to a record label, but they even said, and academics worked very closely with 10K Projects, which was, I don't know if they were distributed, who they were distributed by at the time, but the guy that ran 10K Projects was the son of Lucian Grange, or Lucian Grange, however it's pronounced, who owns Universal and who started Universal. So that's a strong tie, but Playlisting, they didn't want to put support behind him. Radio didn't want to put support behind him. They were really trying to just kick him out of the industry by all means. So what did he do? Well, number one, he got like a 2+ million IG live. And on his birthday, he dropped the song Gooba with the music video. And alongside the song, he dropped a ton of bundles. And he sold a lot. And then he was even talking about it. He said, I want the world to know that Billboard's a lie. You can buy number ones. And then he was accusing Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber's management of buying downloads for their songs that debuted ahead of him, because Gooba debuted at number 3. So for somebody that was debuting at number 3 on the Hot 100 after being blackballed by everything, there is no better way you could state to all of the fans, all of the people watching, all of the people listening, hey, this is fraud, this is flaw. And then he did it again in June. This time he did it with the song Trolls with Nicki Minaj. And this song would go number 1. You've got the fervent fan base of Nicki Minaj, the Barbs. They're buying up stuff. The people that like 6ix9ine are buying up stuff. And they went number 1. That was 6ix9ine's number 1 song, first number 1 song, and it was Nicki Minaj's second number 1 song, and she also became the second female rapper to debut number 1. Lauryn Hill, it was in 1998 before that. Up until that time, Nicki had gone number 1, but it didn't debut at number 1. And then it dropped to number 34, and it broke the record for the largest drop down from the chart from number 1 at that time. Funny enough, Travis Scott's Franchise broke that same record that same year later on. So it spent about 4 weeks on the Hot 100. And this was a combination of digital song sales, bundles, vinyls, CDs, anything you can imagine. The problem is, number 1, they're not liked. 6ix9ine was the most hated guy in the industry. Right now, who else is most hated? Ye. So even if Ye were to go... Now, this is the thing. If Ye sells crazy numbers, let's say he spends a ton of money and goes number 1. And that's the second part of this clip. And one thing that you should notice, and this is where the brilliance of Ye actually comes into play and how the guy thinks, is when this guy gives him the playbook, he's like, listen, I know how this works. This is what Morgan Wallen does. This is what everybody else does. What does Ye do? He's like, hold on. What if we do the complete opposite? And that doesn't need to be the outcome. That doesn't need to be the action that gets taken. But somebody that thinks of that, like, yo, what if we do the complete opposite? What does that look like? And then moving from there, because Ye's always been somebody to zig when people are zagging, and a lot of the time he was ahead of his time, and sometimes it didn't work out too well for him. But, you know, the good outweighs the bad, and that's where you end up where he is now. And by where he is now, I mean the cultural cachet, the finances, the good things, not necessarily the bad. But there's the second clip that comes out from this. And this is where Ye talks about being grandiose. And, yo, what if I spent $100 million? What would this look like?
Because if that's the case, you know, what's the limit then? It's this weird thing, too. It's like they know, it's like how they do street rappers, right? It's like, oh, we know that you're rapping about killing people. We know that you killed a couple people. We're documenting that, and we'll lock you up, but we need the J. Cole record from you first. And then... after that, you done for life. Type shit. Well, same kind of mentality behind this whole, you know, buying the records. Everyone's doing it, right? But what if I go and say, yo, I'm a billionaire. I'm going to sell 10 million the first week. I'm going to buy the amount that would be, what is that? Is that $100 million?
That's $7.99 as the minimum.
It's if they were $10.
A lot, yeah, a lot.
No, what would be if it was $10 and I want to sell 10 million the first week?
10 million times 5, a lot.
No, if it was 10.
$10 times 10 million. It's going to be $100 million.
Right, so say every time I say, look, I'm going to drop 100 million, I'm going to do Backstreet Boys numbers. The people that are saying to do it would say, no, you can't do that. Yeah. See, and now that's why I live this man. You're supposed to use every piece of skill set that's been given in you and use this platform that I have, these eyeballs that I have, and shift it to something that's better so we can get Lauryn Hill making an album. Because right now she's like, I am not making it. Lauryn Hill not having this meeting. You know what I'm saying? And Lauryn Hill will make another album, new music. We have to think about it like this. We used to think about it like, okay, I want to make an album where I can win a Grammy. Now the idea has to be, I want to make an album. No, I want to take the fact I'm in the system to make a system that Lauryn Hill would feel comfortable making music in. That was it. That was a good one. We should probably put that up.
Just hearing his ideas of like, yo, I want to make Lauryn Hill come back, and you're like, wait, what? What does Lauryn Hill have to do with this? So it must be stressful to be around this guy a lot of the time. Although it must be energizing as well. You really start to think in different ways creatively. But two things we're going to ignore. Any saying, any semblance of Ye trying to position himself as, oh, I'm going against the system, anything that is selfless from Ye, we're going to discard that. Ye is selfish. Ye is, I don't know if he's a narcissist. I don't like using terms like that. I'm not a licensed psychiatrist, not psychologist. I'm not any of that. So I don't really like to use medical terms, if that's the proper word for it, or diagnose people. But Ye is self-centered. Ye is concerned with the self, with attention on him. There's not like, oh yeah, I want to help all of these artists. No, you don't, because let's just look through history. Did those good music people get their masters, or at least a part of the masters that you owned? Did they? Okay, because that's the last thing I remembered 7 years ago, back in 2018 when he was talking about that. Hey, if that didn't happen, then I'm not really interested in hearing anything else. We know Ye is interested in the self, so we got to knock that off. And then we got to knock off the part where he talks about Lauryn Hill. I don't know what Lauryn Hill's got to do with anything. Now we get to the part where, spend $100 million to sell this much. That doesn't work, because 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj did the same thing. The reason why this won't work for Ye right now is because he's hated. You need to do this when you're loved. And I'll give you the perfect example of somebody that does this and it worked, which is Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor Swift has a lot of advantages that other rappers don't have. For example, Taylor Swift is a white, blonde, blue-eyed girl in America that had a quote-unquote country background. So she is, if you're going to hail like a girl that everyone wants to save in America, she is the archetype. You've got that. She is a hit maker. Her fans love her, and she's always been loved, even in the public eye. She's never done anything that could be deemed like, damn, that's disrespectful. That was rude by her. Look how she treated that person. So she's built up a record of, damn near 2 decades of just being perfect. So people love Taylor Swift. They want Taylor Swift to win. There's already the notion of, evil music industry and exploited artists. That's a natural tendency. It's corporation versus individual. We can relate more to the individual. So when Taylor Swift wants to remake her old albums, people are actually buying it. So she's just re-record. It's as if Kanye went and re-recorded Graduation. And he's like, I'm putting out Graduation. It's the same. I just recorded it again. And people bought that. And they bought the vinyls. So they bought whatever she had, and then she went #1, and the industry supported it because she didn't have any issues with the industry. She wasn't going around calling out certain groups of people like Ye has been doing. She definitely didn't do that, and she's likable. So the fans are also hailing her numbers. They're not going to critique her numbers like they're going to critique Ye's, even though she's probably running some sort of scheme. She's running the same scheme that Travis Scott is running. And a lot of people aren't really digging into the Travis Scott scheme because we mess with Travis Scott, or the fans of Travis Scott or the listeners of Travis Scott within hip-hop may not have the same love for Travis Scott that Taylor Swift fans have for Taylor, but they're like, oh, damn, those are some crazy numbers by Travis. Shout out to him. Versus if Ye, they're like, yo, man, Ye doctored those numbers. So the outcome, the punch that you want this move to have won't have the same punch unless you're beloved by the people. So what Ye has to do is he has to go kiss a couple of walls in the Middle East. He's got to go to actually, I don't really think that would work now. Well, I don't think he has to do that because he's really powerful still culturally. So they won't put him through that type of forgiveness tour, I guess you could say, because I don't think Nick Cannon had to do something like that. He just had to do a book report. Ironic considering the podcast that got him in trouble. But he just has to get back in the good graces of the people that can assist him in getting back to the top, because the music is still there. Like, a lot of people talk highly of Bully. I haven't listened to it because I try to avoid leaks. I want to listen to the final. And when I hear different versions of a song, it tweaks me out. I'm weird like that. I'd rather just hear the final version that the artist wants me to listen to for most songs. Like, if somebody's passed away, hey man, it is what it is. Crack open that vault, let's get to listening. So with Ye, he needs to get back in people's good graces. He needs to get his numbers running. He needs to get back, team up with a label, maybe get a distribution deal or something like that, because Carnival was able to go #1, and that was wildly impressive, man. And that was going through everything that he went through. That's like peak. You're not going to get much higher than Carnival. I don't know how you want to do more than that. To do more than that, you're going to need allies, and you're going to need those allies to assist you in cleaning up your image to the world. And you don't have to necessarily grovel, but you just got to get back get back in line. And everybody's got to get in line to a certain degree if you want to operate at the highest level. You're playing a game of politics. So if Ye does that, Ye releases some good music consistently, and then Ye executes this plan while everybody likes him and the industry's willing to support him, it's like a Trojan horse. At that point, they're going to gas him to higher power levels than he's ever been, and from there, he can wild out and do whatever he wants. Sure, they're going to crack open, or they're going to cut the power cord, you could say, cut the power line again, but at that point, he'll be at a higher level than he is currently. And that's the only way to do something like this. If people don't like you, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you prove. And also, people don't care. This is actually something that people won't want to admit. People want to be lied to. They want the numbers to be jacked up. They want to hear the song everywhere. Like, for example, like, it's not just labels. Like, do you realize there are certain places you go to? Like, you go to a mall, you go to certain restaurants, and you hear the same songs being played. Yeah, there are deals with, like, these restaurant chains to make sure that they play certain songs over and over and over again. It's not just about the music. It's about a couple of other things that are like more human nature, closely related to human nature, and that's not worth getting into in this video. But yeah, Ye should save his money. It won't do anything. It'll be maybe like a big splurge moment of like, hey, I just proved a point that 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj already proved the point. There's nothing left to prove. You proved the point by going number one, and that's the biggest FU, an impressive accomplishment you could have done independently, like straight up, not even like a crazy not even a major distribution deal you did that off of. So what's left? Either to be happy with what you've got or to go back, mend those bridges, make those allies again, and try to run it up again if you really care about the music industry. There is no other outcome that can come from this. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I tripping? Am I not? Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Go to helloyassine.com. Thank you for watching. Peace.